Well, it's Cadillac time. And it's not for what you'd think. If you're watching this video, it's, well, because you love the Cadillac like myself. This is a lovely car. Don't mind the fact that it's been mud bogged. I lived on a back road. And it should be a shiny dime, but my spigot's frozen, all right? I was gonna wash it for you guys, but I didn't. But if you saw the title of this video, well, you're sick of your door not working either, because, you know, when you got yourself a hot rod and you can't get in, look, you know, like this, but this door goes like that, what's going on here? Well, common problems with your hot rod CTS, right, is what? Well, there's the micro switches in the door handle, really common. And unfortunately, I didn't film that, but I did put them on, and this one works now. But the driver's door is still inoperable. So one of my fellow viewers had mentioned the door lock actuator. So in today's How Tuesday, we're gonna change that. So we got eBay Performance's finest. Well, we'll get it out of the bubble wrap for you in a minute. Door lock actuator for the hot rod caddy here. So we've been putting some miles on and enjoying this thing. And if you're watching for information, I appreciate it. If you're watching because you're a regular scheduled viewer, thank you. And this car is a fun one. This is a Cadillac CTS 2008 model. This video applied to 2008, 2013-ish. This one's got a lovely 4.8 LS inner with a 4L60E. We'll pop the hood for you. As you heard, she's got a nice little tone to her due to our eBay Performance exhaust system. But the problem we're having, we're just trying to finish up all the little nuances with the car. So there's our lovely 4.8 liter out of a Chevy pick-em-up truck. And she's a race car. But what's going on with this thing? So ever since I got the car, the front doors did not work. And how annoying is that when you're trying to drive it and you constantly got to have what? Well, you got to have your key for the driver's side. And if you let a buddy or your wife or whoever ride with you on the passenger side, you got to open the door for them from the inside. So you take your key. You may not know this, but you insert that. And it doesn't unlock the door, right? It actually opens the door. I mean, it gives you a benefit, but here in northern Michigan, when your door seal ices up and you're trying to screw around with that, it don't work, okay? So, getting to be a problem. Other issues we're having with this car, we have a wheel bearing and stuff like that, and we'll just assess them and start picking off some of that small stuff. Since it's getting to be the point where we can actually drive this thing, my road is starting to, well, hopefully start to firm up a little bit here, and we can enjoy it a little bit more. And then we have an event coming up in June. No, not June, what am I saying? May. Thunder on the Strip in Gladwin, Michigan. They have like this little airstrip where they do drag racing. So we're hoping to take this thing out there as well as our lovely turbocharged S10. And if you watched, no, it wouldn't be, it'll be Friday's video, up and coming video. You'll see our buddy Jeremy's truck that'll be out there with us as well, because that's just one of our pastimes. We love drag racing and going fast and doing burnouts. But enough rambling here. So today's problem, we got to go ahead and get that door open and remove the door panel. And we're going to walk you through changing the actuator because, well, hopefully by the end of the video, my door now opens. Kind of the point. Let's get to it. Step one, let's open the door. Well, two ways. Inside or outside with your key. All right? So mine is definitely a high mileage race car here and is missing a couple things. And I will show you, but I will still give you the directions that you need to get the job done. So there's normally a plastic piece right here. As you can see on the passenger side is MIA, and there would normally be a Phillips head screw behind that, a P2, okay? And then next, what is next to remove? Since that is already gone, there is a panel right here. You can it kind of blends in. So you'll go ahead and just give that a yank, and then it'll come out. And if you look down here, it kind of hangs, but it actually will twist up and out, okay? Up and out. And that dude is out of our way. And right here, Phillips head screw, that is actually a P3, big dude right there, and there would normally be one here. Ours is missing. Who would have thought? Now granted, I was in here, like I said, with the micro switches, and I didn't show you guys that, and I apologize, but it is what it is, my friend. So we'll pull this off here. So they make this pretty simple. All there is a bunch of snap clips behind this. Once you remove those three screws, obviously that one's loose, but still there, just give it a yank. You gotta find an edge. There it is. and once you find that edge, it should all just kind of pop right off and lift up a little bit. Okay. This cable here is your actuator release cable. Basically, this is what your inner door handle hooks to. See, pulling on it. You have to pinch the little locking tabs. What I like to do is use my finger, kind of pinch one way, give her a twist, pinch the other way, and it will pull out of there. Now, once you get it to a certain point, it's like a throttle cable. It lines up with the little slot, comes right off. So what's left in our way? We have our connection here, which is kind of cool on Cadillac's part. The door panel goes on, just plugs right in. But a couple little pinch tabs up here, and we got to go ahead and remove that and just kind of set it off to the side. And this will just pull off. It just got like a real, like, I don't know what you want to call it, like a urethane. Basically, it holds it on there. P.S. Make sure your window's up. Don't forget that part. So, anyways, keep the window up. Hopefully you watched this before you got in there and you're like, damn it, Brian. But anyways, so we have this actuator cable here, and you'll see there's our actuator. Now this rod here is the one that hooks up to our lock cylinder. So you just push this little yellow piece in here with your finger, and the little barn door will open up. There we go, kind of flick it outward. That's out of the way. So what I like to do is get this cable loosened right up. Now there's is a little wire connector right there. Just give that a pinch and pull that loose. It'll just free up the connector for a little bit of flexibility when you go to remove the actuator. We have two T30s. If you're unfamiliar, it's Torx bit. 30 is the size. Now that we can weasel this out of here, it'll make that connector a lot easier to deal with. So the way this works, pretty straightforward to get to though, huh? You want to go ahead and pop this red clip up, and as you lift this clip up, it'll start to unplug gracefully off of, if you watch here, off of the actuator. See how it kind of slid back? So you got to kind of push it down and push it forward at the same time. So keep that in mind. Okay. All right, so here's our new one here from the old eBay Performance. Now granted, you can get these at GM, parts store, or whatever, but just want to make sure it looks the same. Check your connectors. Always check, make sure there's enough, enough terminals in there. You don't want to have one that's for like a base model and yours has extra crap going on. So from a aspect of appearance, I mean, it definitely looks comparable. It does say L for left. This is a little bit different, but same concept. I'll just have to figure out how to release this clip, which is going to be... we'll figure that out and explain it to you, but not too shabby. So let's go ahead and toss this back in real fast. All right, I ain't gonna BS you. I like the other clip better, so I'm removing this one, and we're just gonna put the original GM one on there. Now, if yours is broken, it'll be, it'll work, but this is just gonna line back up and clip better, in my opinion. So that's all that matters to me. All right, same routine, reverse steps 15 through 32. Okay, we'll plug her back in. Remember, push down, it locks. There we go. Obviously line them back up, pretty straightforward. Hopefully this fixes our problem in conjunction with the micro switches we had already replaced that didn't fix the problem. We'll just re-hook up our latch, and you'll see why I like that original clip better. It just works, okay? And then don't forget to snap your wiring back in. It just keeps that out of the way of the glass. That's the biggest thing with those clips. And up here is our cable one. Yay! All right, that is the install process. Now let's put the door panel back on and see if this thing works. All right, moment of truth. I will give you one piece of advice. Have your keys ready, because you might have to open it from, with the key. So anyway, ready? Let's try this. No freaking way. How freaking awesome is that? This has been like 3 months, 4 months we've had this car without the damn driver's door opening. Poor Rusty, our super tuner there, our buddy, he was dealing with it, and we've been dealing with it, and it's been just a freaking nuance, but check that out. You can hear the actuator working. You ready? That is too freaking cool, guys. Super excited. I know it was kind of small and a little bit of, you know, small project, but them are little things like that that need to get wrapped up on this car, and that's what I get for having a car with 180,000 miles on it. You know, she's seen better days, you know, but making small strides, folks. But that right there concludes how you change your actuator on your door, okay? That will work on the passenger side, driver side, and whatnot. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Took me, honestly, even filming, 15 minutes tops. So, but if you guys were here for the information, I appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I got a lot of viewers that are not, and it definitely helps the channel grow. For you guys that are my regular scheduled viewers, I want to give you a couple tidbits, a couple things for the future, okay? We got a big project coming up this Friday in Friday's video. Our buddy Jeremy's truck, we do a few things to that. We also have the 1st of April, so that's going to be 2-3 weeks out. Got something special coming. We got a 3rd gen Camaro coming. So you've seen this garbage bag and this 4L80E in the corner. Well, you can probably guess what's going in this hot rod 3rd gen. you guys know me well enough. We're just going to LS swap it because that's just the right thing to do. And it may be a beat to death topic for you, but for me, I love it, okay? Part of the game. But 3rd gen Camaro, why are we doing that? You're like, Brian, where is the Monte Carlo? You sold the F-body Firebird. You sold our beloved Firebird. I know. We still got the Caddy, though. We're still going to enjoy that. We still got the Camaro SS. We still got the Turbo LT XS10. But what about the Monte Carlo? Well, the Monte Carlo is sitting outside still, but it's going somewhere special. I know. My buddy Eric, who is the guy that did the rockers and cab corners and stuff on the OBS big block truck. If you remember that truck that we 8-1 swapped, that one's off living its better days. But the guy that did that work is going to be painting the Monte Carlo and putting a quarter panel on it. So you guys were wanting me to do it. I'll just stay in my lane. So we're LS swapping his 3rd gen Camaro for payment of doing a quarter panel and fender and a complete paint job. So hopefully, well, this video, this is the end of March right now, and we're supposed to be getting this back by June, okay? We're trying to get it ready. I would love to take it up to the St. Ignace Car Show for you Northern Michigan guys, you Michigan folks. That's hopefully the plan to take it there. Just got big plans for that car. I want that to be a nice cruiser. So we might change a few things, but I wanted to bring that up because I haven't mentioned the Monte Carlo in a few videos now, and I know it's been, oh God, quite a while since we picked it up. But remember, those big projects like that, they just take more time and take more of this. Like these ones here, we can turn them in and out quick. Look at the F-body. We did that whole car for, you know, $4 grand. This car's been built for $4 grand. I mean, you guys can do it too. It's cheap, it's budget stuff. I love it, it's enjoyable. One thing I wanted to ask you guys, and I'm looking for a person that has a laser cutting tool. They're very expensive, but I know maybe one of you guys are local to me. I know like Sen does it and stuff like that, but I need somebody that's maybe local to the mid-Michigan area to work with me. I'm looking at getting a few things maybe made for projects like this, and I need a little support. Basically, looking at creating some parts we can utilize, right? That'll help you guys in your build projects. I know I don't talk about that stuff a bunch because, you know, it's one of those things you like to unveil a completed thing, not an idea. So I'm not going to mention what it is quite yet. But if you are or know somebody that's really close to you that has the ability to have a laser for cutting steel up to 1/4 inch, shoot me an email. I'll drop the link right here for the email, right across the bottom. It's also in the link in my channel description. So enough being said, the Cadillac CTS doors all work. She's going to go back to Rusty here soon for a final tune, and we will be done, and we'll be able to enjoy it for the summer. You heard about the Monte Carlo. The Monte Carlo is getting painted, and you'll find out the color at a later date, I promise you. But the next big project, we're dropping one Friday. You'll see our buddy Jeremy's truck, and then you're going to see a 3rd gen Camaro. I heard this one's pretty sweet. So, guys, I appreciate you for tuning in for this How Tuesday. I appreciate you guys tagging along for some of these little bit boring or laid-back videos. So, on that note, make sure you like, subscribe, share all good stuff. We'll see you on the next one.